Welcome back to the Ambition Over Fear portal. I'm Atlas Opia, and I help people expand their interdimensional knowledge. In today's video, I'm going to be discussing the origins you may have as an interdimensional being. You may remember that you've had a reincarnation as a starseed, and oftentimes in between the reincarnation we've had as a galactic being and the one we have right now on Earth in this body, there are other reincarnations we have had during time periods that truly represented the collective consciousness coming into higher dimensional energy, learning how to tap into it, play with it, and leverage it into a high-functioning society where the soul and the body are one, and the powers of the universe are being expressed throughout the community. I'm talking specifically about lemuria, right? When we hear this word, you might feel a sense of heart activation that occurs. And if this happens and you feel a draw towards this word, or you kind of get a sense of knowing that you were in Lemuria or you have connections to that time period, then keep watching this video. And if you're back on this channel, definitely consider subscribing. And if you enjoy content that not only teaches you how to leverage the information in your akashic records, how to open up the channels you have towards the particular reincarnations you're supposed to tap into during this life, so you can merge both lines of energy into one, then subscribe to this channel, because we're going to go in and break down how to tap into interdimensional knowledge and the ways to apply that to your brain. So Lemuria itself really was a impactful period in the collective consciousness, and a lot of starseeds have reincarnated in that era because it was a time where there was a community and life force on Earth that was really resonating with the magic of this universe. And the technology that the people tapped into during Lemuria was a way to apply their higher dimensional consciousness in a third dimensional field, so the elements could work with them in a way that allowed the uplifting of the people. It gave people a thinner veil between their interdimensional powers and the realm at which they can see it be expressed. So now in this life, we can feel the energy in an alternate dimension. And through the use of our third eye, we can truly allow our mind to interpret the information in the quantum field through the imagination. But we often will see these manifestations occur in the third dimension, even though we can transmute and create different forms of energy in the dimensions that we exist in, which, as you know, it's 1 to 13. 13 is the source of all energy in the universe, and where your soul is empowered from. And then it goes down each dimension as energy waterfalls into the layer beneath it. So Lemuria was a time where people were witnessing the metaphysical efforts of their soul and seeing it expressed more quickly and in a way that was a stronger representation of magic itself. Back then, they were using water as an intelligent form of energy. They were using water to empower the structure of their society. But it wasn't just water, it was magical water because they understood how to program energy into the energy of water itself. So just like nowadays we have electricity powering our society, Lemuria, it was water. And you know, when you can feel into that reincarnation, you might get a glimpse of being in water or seeing these tubes of water all throughout society and seeing water be this landmark of how people draw their magic into the world. And the technology and the customs and the traditions of Lemuria that our souls got to experience was passed forward into Atlantis, and that was passed forward into ancient Egypt, if we're looking at the scale of linear time in the third dimension. So when you're in water, I want you to ask yourself how you feel. And can you look at the water as if you're able to experience something on this planet that allows you to ascend into the higher realms of your consciousness, when you can see into the infinite nature of the universe as you're peeking into water itself. Water has always been a fascinating element, even the way that it can, you know, transform into air through steam and evaporation, or it can become solid through, you know, lower temperatures and become ice. And there is so much intelligence in water that we know about just from being here. So when you're in the bath or a shower or in the hot springs or next to a lake, I want you to imagine that you're feeling into the electrical waves that exist in that entire body of water you're experiencing. So if you're in an ocean, allow your consciousness to feel into the electricity as you travel with it vastly into the depths of the water. If you're in a bathtub, you can imagine the entire water around you sparking up with this effervescent white energy. If you're in a river, or you know, you're in somewhere where there's running water, you can imagine, you know, going backwards and feeling where the water comes from and where it's being sent. So initially you want to feel just the raw power of the water itself. It's all of these particles, thousands upon thousands of bits of energy connecting and making one, similar to the universe. That is how we merge the thoughts and, you know, ideas of what we want to manifest in our imagination to the dimension we would like to see it manifest in, as we see them as one. So once you can see that water already is intelligent, you can now understand that it is a medium for energy. Everything in this world is an energy field. And so, you know, you can even do things at time where you have a bottle of water and you can think of a manifestation. You can visualize something you want, and you can feel into an energy you would like to summon and bring into your body. And then with your third eye, you can see that energy going into the water and expanding, and the energy field of the water changing to the energy you're putting in. So everything is a combination of the divine feminine and masculine. The divine feminine is the field, right? And an energy field is powerful because whatever you put into it reproduces. Similar to the feminine body on Earth. Now you look at the masculine energy metaphysically, and that is deciding what energy you would like to reproduce in the field, and you're making a decision to choose a particular energy code or information. And all that is an intention. It's something you want to manifest. It's something you want to know. It's an energy you want to summon. And that masculine seed of information goes in the feminine field, and the field reproduces it. So the water is a field that already has energy in it, but you can put new energy in the water around you, and the actual element will multiply it. So try that exercise and realize that Lemuria used water as a medium for the magic they wanted to provide to their civilization. They wanted to give people access to the powers of the universe. And when people were surrounded by water, and water was in the buildings and the plants and the infrastructure, the really powerful magicians during that time, which were also the politicians, really imprinted specific energy into the water, and then they were allowed to structure it in a way where it gave the society technology. And it's not like nowadays where we think, okay, water can only do a certain amount of things. Back then, the water gave people healing. It gave people energy. It was used to send messages between one side of town and another. It was there as almost like a source of energy, similar to crystals, but it was really connected and unified. So when people wanted to, summon or manifest an energy, they were able to do it much quickly because the water and the infrastructure and the availability of this advanced technological water was there for everybody to tap into. And during that time in Lemuria, it was kind of taking souls that had a higher dimensional resonance, that may have had higher dimensional reincarnations on Earth, and primarily allowing them to lead from their interdimensional energy. And then, the Earth itself, the third dimensional resonance of the community, was the minor. So you can think of it like this: when you're manifesting something, when you're meditating, when you're retrieving information from your soul to bring it into Earth, you're finding an energy and you're bringing it to a place you would like to see it manifest. So your imagination and your formless consciousness is of the fifth dimension or higher. Now, in order for that to translate into the third dimension, you need time, and you have to allow the energy to translate in the form it needs to see it in a physical manner. But Lemuria was very metaphysical and etheric, and that's why, people that were there, as they were looking around at the world, they were feeling the energy of everything more than the solidification of physical matter. So you know how when you get out of a meditation, or you're in a journey, or you're on this really intense spiritual, high, you can experience the world and everything seems very flexible. Everything doesn't feel as solid because you're in that flow of the energy which creates a solid. So right now on Earth, we're primarily in the physical, and the metaphysical is minor. Now, when the culture of our collective consciousness, as it was evolving, moved into Atlantis, now it was more of like a 50-50. It was a little bit more third dimensional, manifestation, with that same power of the universe and people tapping into their metaphysical nature. And then as that moved forward to ancient Egypt, they used Earth as a means to tap into high-powered energy in the universe. That is why you have the pyramids built out of stone, because now they were finding out that water is a very metaphysical element, and in order for them to bring higher dimensional consciousness into a lower dimensional simulation as Earth, they needed an element that was more acclimated and solid, such as stone and sand. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I'll be doing more videos on, the akashic records of your soul and any pull or resonance you have with different time periods, based on the time periods that are coming up in the collective and the ones I've experienced. Subscribe to this channel. I make videos every Tuesday and Thursday. It's a combination of really giving you the information you need to remember any intergalactic or reincarnation on Earth you've had that is connected to where you're going now and how you're coming into more of your soul's power. And I also break down concepts of interdimensional knowledge in a way so your mind can reprogram itself to tap into the intelligence of this universe and the potent higher realms of knowledge that you're really hungry to know about. And also, if you have a reincarnation in Atlantis, Lemuria, ancient Egypt, and you're also a starseed, consider my galactic quantum coaching. I've built an entire program to help you really find out what your galactic mission is and understand how to do interdimensional soul work so you could heal any common patterns that are showing up throughout your reincarnations, and you can tap into any desires that you want to expand upon. I also teach you different ways to interact with the quantum field, and I use the term interdimensional skills. I've channeled 20 of them, and each one allows you to perform a specific action in the energetic field, and you can layer those skills together to do specific things. I love to hear from you guys. I can't wait to meet the individuals that are going to be on this journey with me. And until next time, stay in peace and simplicity and take it one day at a time, and realize that your mind, your shadow, is not the enemy. It is a part of your system that you have to have a conversation with, so the war inside of you turns into a dance and a negotiation. Just trust and let go, and I'll see you guys soon. Bye.